People deluded. Good morning and them things there, folks. And I'm happy that you're all safe and well. However, you're watching my channel, just stay safe. But moving on, pardon me, with it being the international break, I thought to myself, you know what? You guys know me. I always look at the young players at our club and the ones that we love that were much hyped or we watched a lot that have departed the club. So obviously it's not mid-season, but we might as well have a progress check of some sorts of our players that have departed the club or our former young players. Jeff Renee Adelaide. Now, a big part of him to go to the next level and to be the top player. For me, firstly, he needed to go and get goals and assists. He's a great player. He gets into great positions. He's got wonderful technical ability. But goals and assists, no matter how good you are, at the end of the day, you need to get that. There's only a few players out there that stats might not back them up in that department for their creativity, but in terms of that next step and playing for a top club, that's what he's needed, and probably to be a bit more calculated. And I see him improving in that. He's maturing up as you would playing senior football. The amount of times he did both last season and 8 times this season so far, so he's doing all right. He's also been called up to the French under-21 side, I believe. Forgive me if I'm wrong, and I think Guendouzi is there as well. So he's making strides. To be honest with you, back in his homeland. So keep it up, Jeff, man. He's around 20, turning 21 or so now. So it's that age where he needs to show some development of sorts. Next, you've got Chris Wilock. Now, he departed the club, rejected a deal to sign a new contract at the club because he wanted to go somewhere where he felt that the pathway was clearer, in the sense that he didn't expect to walk into any first team, but knowing that if he tries hard and all of them things, that he'll be given an opportunity. Something that does happen at Arsenal, but it's essentially crabs in a barrel at Arsenal, in that Willock's talented, but then you probably around his, definitely when he was at the club, because a lot have departed, but you had several top talent. So you can't really tailor and say, all right, cool, I'm going to put my hat on you and say you're going to go first team, unless they're really special sorts of. Not that he isn't. So yeah, we know he went to Benfica, signed a 5-year deal, rejected Watford, City, Spurs, Celtic, Leipzig. He had a lot of offers, but he wanted to join Benfica, and you can see why. It's an adventure, living in Portugal, new country, something to look back at when he retires. Benfica have a good track record of developing young players, both of Portuguese nationality and wherever they can find them in South America or anywhere else in Europe. And then typically you see them move on to more reputable European clubs for good money, and the cycle continues. Hasn't been plain sailing for him. Last season he was doing bits for the B team, but he needed to get goals and assists to get to that next level. The coach, in regards to the first team, does rate him and have a lot of time for him. You've seen him travel with pre-season, but he's more or less been struck to the B team. He turns 20. He turns what? He turns. I'm so sure he turns 21 in January. He's 20 years of age now. He probably needs to go out on loan somewhere at another Portuguese team or something like that, or maybe even return to the country and play senior football. Benfica B do play against senior teams. I believe it's a similar league structure, to how it is in Spain, but still you get the point. And just for some context, this season in 5 appearances he's got 2 goals, 2 assists. Last season in 30 appearances he got 3 goals and 2 assists. So for all his ability, he needs to kick on to that next level to show the coach that can put you in. Personally as well, he has been linked recently with Huddersfield, Celtic again, Bournemouth, and Club Brugge of Belgium. So yeah, me personally, I feel if I'm him, I'd be both excited and frustrated. I'd be frustrated because I do think he's a victim of the sheer number of talents of young Benfica players, similar to, ironically, what happened at Arsenal. You've seen Fernandes make his debut, João Felix. Obviously, he didn't make his debut this year, but you've seen Ruben Diaz make headwinds, and you're seeing there's many other Benfica players that have made their debut or are getting close to the first team in some capacity, and Willock's not one of them. So maybe he's just very unlucky in that there's more talented players ahead of him, or players that are great in their own right, and they're getting chances ahead of him. Personally, it's still, you got to remember, they still gave him a 5-year deal, so he's still got a long way to go, but only he knows how it's going to turn, man. He's still, if he was to leave without making his first team debut of any capacity, it'd be upsetting. But yeah, on to Josh Da Silva. He obviously departed for Brentford after rejecting a deal. I think he's only played 45 minutes for Brentford's B side because he's still nursing an injury. So yeah, hopefully he gets over his injury stuff and can nail down a first team spot. Marcus McGain, he went to Barcelona. When he looks back at it, whether he makes it at Barcelona or not, he's had a good education at Arsenal and Barcelona that will look good on his CV. But he enjoyed life at Barcelona last season. He made his first team debut and he made a number of appearances. This season, he's facing a struggle to fight his to fight and win his place back in the side, because he has been restricted to the bench and hasn't really got any significant minutes so far this season. Maybe he's carrying an injury. He turns 20 in February. Maybe he's playing more senior football than he would have at under 23 level, because Barcelona B are playing against senior sides. But maybe a loan spell, if he's not getting a lot of football at this time in his age, at this age of his development, might aid him. Sorry, people. But yeah, obviously you got João Virginia, left us to go to Everton. Hasn't made an appearance for the first team, but he's been on the cusp. I don't know whether he's second or third choice keeper. Either way, he's closer to the first team than he would have been at Arsenal. On the face of things, as much as I didn't want him to leave. Yeah, big challenge ahead of him, trying to beat Pickford into the first team spot. Maybe he gets a loan. Maybe he makes his debut in some capacity this season. Maybe if Pickford gets injured, he makes his debut. But yeah, he's been on the cusp. He's been restricted to under 23 appearances and training with the first team and travelling with them. So it's a good look for him. Obviously, you got Dragomir, 4 appearances and finally got his first professional goal. Mark Bowler, someone who can actually play for us when we welcome Blackpool to our neck of the woods in the next coming weeks. His contract runs out in 2019. He's made 11 appearances for Blackpool, so he's doing his thing. Obviously, you got donyellmalen, 14 appearances, 2 goals, and things like that. He's more or less a sub player. He needs to break into the PSV first team, and that he's starting game in, game out. But he's still, the coach rates him highly, and he's still developing. Came off the bench against Barcelona. I was watching that as a proud moment. I think he did all right in the minutes he got, and I think Lozano had a good game. And you almost saw him score a bicycle kick against Inter Milan in the Champions League when he came on. So yeah, he's more or less stuck on the impact subs bench thing. But again, close to the first team than he might have been at Arsenal. Benassia, Crowley, you're seeing Crowley finally make headwinds into his career. And I've already spoken about him in a previous video, so I won't now. But yeah, Ismail Benassia, probably the most successful of recent years in terms of sheer volume of first team appearances and gaining a higher standing in football. 48 appearances for Empoli altogether. He's made 8 appearances this year. He looked a bit woeful in the defeat against AC Milan, if I remember rightly, but against Caligari, I cannot say their name, and Palma, he did all right. So he's joined the side. He helped them get promoted last year. And then there is Serie A. So if he gets his head down, and plays and puts in some good performances, he could join a more reputable club. So whether Empoli, no disrespect, were to get relegated or not, it'd be of no impact to him. Finally, you got Kalen Hines. Now he left and joined Wolfsburg for a couple £1 million. It's sad because at 15 years of age, he was wanted by more or less every club when he played for Leyton Orient. Had the pick of Arsenal United. Arsenal managed to win the race. And 5 years later, at 20 years of age, he's not got a club. Now, it's not because of a lack of ability. We know he joined Wolfsburg when Jonker was there. And obviously his contract has been scrapped because of, for whatever reason. We don't need to get into that. I've spoken about that in a vid. But either way, he finds himself at 20 years of age without a club. And it's sad because he could have stayed at Arsenal. So by that logic, he has got the ability to secure a good position within an academy or whatever. The problem is at 20 years of age, I'm sure he wants to play first team. I hope he finds a club at some capacity, because he's a player I enjoyed watching for Arsenal. He's got good technical ability, he's got good work ethic, he's a good player. It's difficult to make it at first team level for a lot of these players, as seen, because they've all departed, but he was someone that I believe's got a future in the game, man, and I definitely wouldn't have saw this when he went to Wolfsburg. But trials and tribulations make you stronger, man, and I hope that he gets through this. I hope his agent can do something for him. So yeah, man, it's very contrasting for a lot of our young players and stuff, and it shows that football's not a black and white world. You don't go from A and then you're simply at B. Sometimes you got to go to Z to get to the goal of B and things like that. But it's nice to see they're progressing.